Hello, my name is Alake Pilgrim, and I'm a student on the MA Creative Writing here at UEA. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, and without the Booker Prize Foundation scholarship, I would not have been able to be part of this UEA community. So on behalf of all the scholarship recipients, I want to say thank you to each one of our donors who have made it possible for us to be here. I've been writing since I was a little girl, but my journey to the creative writing program at UEA has been, shall we say, circuitous. 2 years ago, I had a son, Chiedu, who was born with severe liver disease. At times, we didn't know if he would survive. Even as we saw a slew of doctors, my family and I prayed because there are those things in life that seem beyond our power to control or even fully understand. Then, in the second half of 2015, something miraculous began to happen. My son's liver, the only organ inside the body capable of regenerating itself, began to heal. When my son was ill, I questioned so much about my life and dream of being a writer. To begin with, writing stories can seem like a really impractical pursuit. In my country, for instance, people often stare at you speechless after you say you're a writer. Then they ask with genuine curiosity, what you going to do with that? Also, for those of us who've been through difficult times, there's this growing sense of tiredness that can creep in, where we begin to wonder whether what we're saying or doing makes any difference in the face of life's big challenges. In times like this, the answers we seek can seem really faint or unclear, like a sound coming from a long way away. But as my grandmother used to say, it wouldn't always be so. As my son became well, I learned that hope is a stubborn thing. Cut it down and it springs up again and again. I began to look for ways to keep writing. That's when I applied to UEA, the most renowned creative writing program in the UK. You can imagine how I felt when I was accepted. There was only one small problem. Without a full scholarship, I couldn't afford to come. The day I learned that I received the Booker Prize Foundation scholarship felt like a turning point. It was as if someone had said, yes, keep going. Your dreams are not crazy. The hard work and sacrifices that you and your parents and their parents have made will bear fruit. For me, this scholarship was an affirmation of hope. Now that I'm here, I've come to see the writing workshop as a kind of metaphor for my time at UEA. For the uninitiated, workshop is where each student brings stories to be read and critiqued by their fellow students and the professor. If that sounds a bit intense, it is. Workshop is not a utopia. It's not a neutral space. We don't all start from the same place. We come with our abilities, pasts, questions, preferences, even prejudices. We each have our blind spots. Sometimes people really love the work, sometimes they don't. But I've come to see workshop and my time here at UEA as a kind of precious moment. For me, this is an opportunity to grow through being willing to be uncomfortable and connect with people across our differences. Workshop, like life at UEA, is based on the idea that we can learn from each other. It's one of the things that makes our time here so special. And it works not only because of our amazing faculty, but because of your support. Your generosity is what brought each of us through our own miraculous journeys together here at UEA. So to the Booker Prize Foundation and all of our donors, to the faculty and staff of UEA, thank you for using your powers for good. Thank you for seeing us as people with gifts, hard work, and dreams that can be fulfilled. And to my fellow students, I want to say that I know the road isn't easy, but don't give up hope. Even as we face the sometimes sad state of our world, what we say matters. What we do matters. Thank you for being here. For me, getting the UEA Booker Prize Foundation scholarship was everything. It was a turning point that renewed my sense of hope and commitment to being a writer. I would say to budding writers, just keep writing. Even when what you're writing doesn't seem to make sense or you have no idea where you're going, just keep writing. Trust what's inside of you. Trust that you have something to say that someone out there needs to hear. I would recommend UEA for daring to embrace difference. I think that this is a university that realizes that what's different about us is what makes us special. Our differences don't divide us. It's how we understand and engage with them that matters. When we can truly embrace what's different about us or another person or group of people, it opens us up to a whole new set of possibilities. Embracing difference is the chance to create a whole new world. As a mom with a 2-year-old, I fit writing in whenever I can. I'm trying to learn not to wait for those long stretches of uninterrupted time that will never come. I'm working on using the shorter bits of time that I have throughout the day and at night when my son's asleep. In his Nobel lecture, the poet Derek Walcott said that the love that reassembles our fragments is greater than the love that took things for granted when they were whole. He was talking about the power and possibility that Caribbean people bring to the world, reassembling our lives from the fragments of historical violence, enslavement, indenture, colonialism. But I think that on a small scale, this applies to writing as well. I kind of see my writing now as a constant reassembling of fragments. Each story ends up being this small, imperfect thing pieced together by love.